tournament. I'm going to try to add FB Casbah, by the way. I think it's important that we try. Kelazhur accepted. Oh god, that's lovely. We have Kelazhur. Oh, you're gonna. Oh, that's amazing, guys. We're gonna watch Kelazhur, the SC2 Pro. Oh, versus Vortix. It is Kelazhur versus Vortix. Oh my god, that's amazing, guys. Okay, we're rooting for Kelazhur here because he's an SC2 Pro, and Vortix comes from Age of Mythology, I think. I think that's it, guys. It's one in a lifetime opportunity for me to cast Vortix, I think. So, without any further ado, at the very bottom right-hand side of the map, it is Vortix spawning with the French. And on the other side, on the left, very close spawns by the way, mind you, it is going to be Kelazhur, the SC2 professional player. That's going to be really cool. I can't wait for this. I really want to cast like one of the SC2 pros. We get to do this now. I'm really happy to be doing this, guys. And we will be actually looking at the base of Kelazhur, I guess, mostly because he's my favorite in this matchup. This is really cool. Because honestly, Kelazhur he's a very good Terran player in SC2, I think. So having the opportunity to watch him play in this setting in AoE 4 is just really exciting. On the other side, though, this is the well-established pro, and he has a very good reputation as the Age of Empires 4 player. So this is going to be Vortix, and he is going to be he has a huge reputation, and we just will see whether he has enough to prove it, right? Because Kelazhur, I think those SC2 pros overall have been performing extremely well in this tournament overall. Like we have seen Probe going very far up despite not having played too many games. SC2 just kind of gives you, I think, it gives you a way better skill set to deal with Age of Empires 4 than Age of Empires 2 does. And this is mostly because those players are actually going to be... Can I actually control group this? Yeah. So yeah, I can just jump to Kelazhur's base. So the thing is that yeah, SC2 players have been doing very, very well in those scenarios, specifically because I think the APM tax is very high in AoE2, AoE4 that is. And you know, these guys have like 400, 500 APM average, and they're just handling a lot of those kind of multitasking things, a lot of those kind of micro situations way better than the AoE2 pros can ever hope to. Age of Mythology, I have no idea. Actually, only played it a few years ago, so I have no clue how exactly the pro scene looks like, how much micro you need in Age of Mythology. But in StarCraft 2 you need so much micro, and Terrans, they're really well known for having extreme levels of micro, because the bio in StarCraft 2 just requires a lot of actions per second to split, to manage. You can also, you can do a lot of kind of those split attacks. So I think the Terrans coming into, specifically the Terran players coming into Age of Empires 4 are going to have a field day. We see Kelazhur actually going for a very quick expand over here, and Vortix also matching that very, very close in terms of the timing. 900 HP on this TC, sorry, on the School of Cavalry. Basically like the same build. Literally they're following the same exact build with their villagers. We have 2 villas on gold on the side of Kelazhur, and we have 3 villas on wood on the side of Vortix. And we actually see that this School of Cavalry is being built by 2 villagers over here, and maybe 4 on the side of Kelazhur. So he's actually going to sacrifice some of his economy to just get this landmark going up first, I guess. And it seems to be the case that he's going to be able to advance a little bit ahead of his opponent. And like, it depends, really depends on what he's going to be able to do with this, because we saw Hagrid basically lose a lot of pressure because he was behind from the get-go because of that age up, I guess. So we shall see whether this is actually relevant at all or no. I guess villager counts should be very similar, 17 on the side of Kelazhur and 18 on the side of Vortix. So I guess they're just kind of the short desync between the production of vills. I'm pretty sure these guys are able to kind of keep up the production at all times with their extremely high APM and idea as to how to play the game. And like Kelazhur is, yeah, I'm kind of hyped to see what he does with this, like, because it's obviously going to be Cav versus Cav, right? There's no other way to play this matchup. But how they use those cavalry units here, that's going to be like the highest level of play you can probably expect, especially Vortix, I guess, being the favorite. I wager he's the favorite here. He's going to show us how to play this game, I guess. Let's see the income per minute graph, by the way. Very similar, actually, comparable levels. with Kelazhur going up first, so he's going to have a little bit less wood income for now, but he's going to kind of straighten this up immediately. We see actually 7. I have not actually seen 7 villagers on gold yet. This is the first time I see 7 on gold. 7 to 4. So Kelazhur actually just gets on the right foot. He gets the knight out before Vortix is even able to reach the next age. And he has 3 villagers on wood, actually, just trying to get as much wood as he can. I guess he just wants to support his economy. He wants to get some extra houses out, of course, and a second stable. So Vortix hits his H2, and Kelazhur is gonna follow in suit. He has 7 villagers on the gold, which is a lot, guys. 7 villagers on gold is a large amount of gold. Actually, this is insane, and I'm wondering what exactly he's gonna do with that. To be honest, like we could see some crazy stuff. I guess like you could even just kind of skip mining the stone altogether, just maybe build a market and just trade gold for stone, build a second TC or something. I don't know what he's getting this much gold for, because 5 is enough to sustain both production and chivalry upgrades. So 7 is just a little bit excessive. I'm just very curious what he actually accomplishes with this. We see like those nice actually butting heads in the middle of the map over here, close to Vortix's base. We see second knight actually coming up for Kelazhur as well, so he has a decent advantage in terms of numbers, despite the defender's advantage on Vortix's side. Kelazhur has 2 knights here. They're gonna get a decent trade against Vortix's knight, which is gonna disengage afterwards. Okay, he commits. Strange. So Kelazhur, okay, that's a lot of micro. Okay, they're actually just moving sideways. They're trying to get as many attacks as they can, and that's a decent HP trade, I guess, on the side of Kelazhur. But because of the defender's advantage, though, Vortix does actually get his 3rd knight before Kelazhur can get his 4th. Okay, before Kelazhur's 3rd knight reaches the army. So we have both players have actually queued chivalry here. So we can just compare the villager numbers now. 27 for Vortix. And I would wager the same number for Kelazhur. So they're keeping up with the tempo of the game very well. And they're actually getting a lot done over here. Let's look at the economies, by the way. 18-8 for Kelazhur, and it is going to be 12-3-8 for Vortix. So Vortix is moving to the hunt. That's what I thought. See, he gets 5 villagers on the hunt. He's going to build this mill. He's going to also probably get a tower up. He's just going to have this setup going. Like maybe 1 villager builds a tower right now here. That's the right thing to do. 5 actually build a tower. So that's kind of the good macro move, because you get safety, right? This tower can hold 5 villagers only, so you can just go to the hunt with 5 and just be safe and just kind of be impervious, I guess, to the harassment if you can spot your enemies on the minimap, right? That's what is happening over here. And that's why those players are doing what they're doing. We see actually a blacksmith coming down relatively early, but I don't really like this, guys. What I really don't like about those non-StarCraft 2 pros is they don't have like a build order in mind, because you just kind of build that blacksmith, so what? Like blacksmith on its own doesn't provide you with any bonuses at all, right? There's no bonus for having the blacksmith standing on the map, I think, right? Oh no, it actually works. Oh, I'm silly. No, never mind. So the blacksmith does actually give you the 1 attack bonus. Oh, that's my bad then. So I didn't know this. I thought like French had inherently the upgrade done without building the blacksmith. You need the blacksmith to get +1 attack on knights. So today I learned. That's pretty cool then. Like we actually do see that there's an advantage. But if you get the blacksmith, I would really expect you to also go for the upgrade for the fitted leatherwork as soon as you can, because that's just the entire purpose of this building, right? You just want to get the upgrades, and you want to have that advantage coming from this 150 wood sunk into this for now, which is not really being used at all. I think Kelazhur might be getting a blacksmith of his own somewhere as well. We saw 150 wood spent somewhere. We see barracks actually going up here for Vortix. And that's actually panning out to be a very decent game. So no villagers lost on either side yet. Like they're controlling that very well, I guess. So there is like very little opportunity for those villagers to go down. We see the scout being caught out by Kelazhur. He might actually get a kill. Yeah, he does. So that's very good. You really need spotting, guys. In Age of Empires 4, you really have like the scouts have insane vision. Look at this. So if you want to see crap here. Look at how much the scout can see. Look at how much he can see with this singular unit. You can get like 2 free scouts. It's like observers in SC2. You can actually see so much. So that's why basically they are not losing units. They have not been using any villagers so far, because the scout of Kelazhur can see those knights before they can see him, right? So look at this. They can't see the scout, but he can see basically wherever Vortix wants to move. So you can get like 2 free scouts on the map. I think that might become the meta at some point in the future. If you can get those scouts going, you can actually see so much more than your opponent. If you can get basically a decent control, you can just get so much vision that basically you paralyze your opponent's movements. So Vortix is in the dark here. Kelazhur, as I said, he sees every single move he makes. Look at this. He sees those knights moving up, he just can respond. He has those knights in position even right now already, so he has basically full control over this. And that's so important, guys. Look at how well he manages this. This kind of what goes against using the select all army units, because it does select the scouts, and this means the scout is going to be basically going into the main army, and he's going to, yeah, be kind of useless because he dies and you have no more vision left, right? Now we see Kelazhur actually banking up a lot of food. That's peculiar, I think. But since this game has been very passive, I guess he just kind of feels he has the possibility to go up to the next age before his opponent. That's a knight chase. It's not really gonna do much, is it, right? The scout here just gonna move around. But this is super cool for Kelazhur, actually. Have you seen? You can see how well a scout can actually work for you. I don't think there's such a mechanic, like a mobile scout that can actually see a lot more than a regular unit in AoE 2. So that's why, or Age of Mythology. And this scout is just so well utilized by Kelazhur. You have to highlight how good this scout has been for the player. And we see those knights actually maneuvering around. He has a decent... No, he has what? 12 knights to 14, to 11. No, he cannot retake this fight. What he can do is actually just run around, deny those villagers from gathering. That's very important as well. Where's the scout, actually? The scout is over here. So he actually sees... Vortix before Vortix can see him. It's very scary for Vortix, I think. So what we can also see is that, as I said, Kelazhur is actually accumulating resources, right? He has 750 food and 300 more gold. He's actually going to, and 500 more food. He's actually going to be able to go to the next age. And I think that's what's going to happen, actually. Like, I think he's just going to go relentlessly towards that extra, towards those extra resources, and he's just going to age up. So this is looking to be a very, very solid matchup overall. And we see Blacksmith going up, by the way, for our Vortix. For Vortix, very late by this. Actually surprising how late this Blacksmith is going to kind of be placed on the map. And there's a hunt being taken by Vortix as well. Sorry, by Kelazhur, that is. Sorry, Kelazhur is going to take that hunt. And he's going to be able to perhaps get a decent eco advantage from this as well. Because I think what he wants to do as well is to go for a little bit extra gold. Why is he not mining gold? He is. He's just spending all the gold he's earning. That's the problem, right? I guess. So look at how he is playing. So he's playing the SC2 game, right? So if you cannot kill your enemy's workers, what you can do is you can actually deny them mining. Oh, whoa, that's actually bad. He loses a single knight over here, but he drives those knights back in. He's going to deny those villagers from gathering the resources again. And it's very because, like, you have 5 villagers, but you really don't. That's like, if you can keep up the pressure like this, those 5 villagers will never ever do anything. They're still idle. So Kelazhur, despite not really killing anything, is getting a decent advantage. He's exerting pressure. He's going to move, force a lot of kind of unfavorable movement from his enemy, and he's just going to force those villagers to remain idle for as long as possible. And he's also actually keeping his enemy engaged, which means that he's safe on the side of the map. We actually see a lot of pikes piling into here, so I think what Kelazhur should do right now is actually go for a single archery range, if he hasn't done so yet. Nope. No archery ranges inside, so he's actually just going to commit to mass knights, I guess. We have what? Upgraded defense, I guess, for... so Vortix did eventually upgrade the defense of his knights, whereas Kelazhur hasn't yet done that, actually, so... he has a decent advantage in terms of numbers, though, with 22 knights here versus 14, but there are pikes, so that the spearmen are actually going to be very defensive, very successful defending against the cavalry. And the clash happens. Actually, the pikes get eliminated very quickly. Look at this. So Kelazhur, I think he might be winning the game right now. He might be taking out Daddy Vortix out of it, or is he? He has a lot of knights coming in once again. We have what? 13 knights to 10 actually. So this is a very even trade, and they disengage. So Vortix doesn't take the game, and Kelazhur doesn't take it either. This is a very even trade, maybe slightly favoring the AoE Pro. So Vortix is going... AOM Pro, that is. So Vortix is going to take a small advantage from this fight. I'm really surprised that there is no response from Kelazhur towards... he's not going towards that archery range at all. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I would expect like a few archers to win this fight, to be honest. So there's no micro happening there at all. They were just kind of butting heads and closing their eyes, hoping something good would come out of it. Nothing good came out of that, though. So we see... Oh, that's very scary. It's a very scary moment for both players, because Kelazhur is going to march into Vortix's base, and Vortix is going to march into Kelazhur's. I'm not sure if he knows about the hunt here. That's a big question mark, if he can actually cut off that or no. We can see, like... Vortix reacts immediately, pulling off the villagers here. But yeah, he does know. Oh no, this is gonna be the lethal blow for Kelazhur. Look at this. So on this side, like the knights are just gonna rush in and kill the hunt. Here, although, like those are not gonna accomplish much. And that's so scary. Look at this. Look how many villagers we have here exposed. 13, 12 workers just going down. I think they're all dead. Like they cannot reach anything. Kelazhur is so much trouble, man. And he's not getting anything at all. He's getting 0 damage down on this side of the map. This is so bad for Kelazhur. And those 4 knights, they can act as a distraction. They can just slow down the advance. So maybe 5 or 4 villagers get away of this. But the knights of Kelazhur have not accomplished anything, man. Kelazhur just threw the game. That's so bad. This is so terribly bad for Kelazhur, actually. Vortix is going to take this now, I think. So, losing this huge amount of economy is just absolutely insurmountable of a lead for Vortix right now. Look at this. So, the income per minute, Kelazhur still has somehow managed to retain more food. Let's look at the vill numbers. 37 for Kelazhur right now, and Vortix is sitting on 54. Guys, this is a 14 villager upgrade advantage for the AOM Pro. So this game was just turned on its head. The army numbers are terrible for Kelazhur as well, because he has not been producing army, and it's just looking very, very grim right now. 92 supply to 56. The supply doesn't lie, as the StarCraft 2 casters say, or the soup doesn't lie, right? That's the meme anyway. And it is looking like, indeed, the game going to, just favor heavily Kelazhur. Kelazhur gets a nice flank, he gets a surround on those knights of Vortix, but those doesn't accomplish too much. The charge goes in, they do some damage, they bat heads, 1 knight goes down, maybe 2 if you can block with those. You can actually block with those, you can use them to block the movement of your enemy. And they do actually block a little bit, but no big damage done. And this looks like, the army numbers 20 for Kelazhur, and Vortix has 41 are just going to be the distinctive feature between those 2 players right now. We have way more supply for Vortix, and Vortix has just kind of managed to turn the game on its head with, a split-second decision, basically going for those villagers over here, committing to that and not panicking in the face of danger in his own base. So this is a very, very intense trade. And actually, this allows it's a very scary thing for Kelazhur as well, for the reason that there are so many villagers here able to harvest for free right now, because there's no way in hell that Kelazhur can move on the map and take anything right now. He's just stuck in his own base. He's stuck with whatever hunts he has, whatever berries he has around here. But even this base over here, that's not going to be this is not going to sustain him in any way, right? It's not going to be able to. That's not going to provide him with enough an advantage to go back into to get back into the game. And we can see actually Kelazhur taking a nice fight here, 2 knights dying on the side of Vortix, but this is a very bad engagement in return. So he does take 2, he could have just backed off here, but he doesn't. Now we have a decent advantage, I think, like on the map for Vortix. And what Vortix knows, and what I think Kelazhur also knows, is that Vortix can actually go up to the next age right now, where Kelazhur is actually stuck in feudal for a while. Vortix just kind of accumulates resources right now. He has 1,200 food. He's very close to being able to age up. Just 300 gold now required for him to actually go to Castle Age. And Castle Age cavalry for French is really ridiculous. So, the comparison between Royal Knights and the veteran Royal Knights is just really, really big. It's like 30% bonus stats. And that's just basically impossible for those to be handled anymore. So if Vortix is allowed to go up to Castle, it's just going to be really bad for our good old StarCraft 2 Pro, actually. So Kelazhur trying to take an advantage out of this to get a good position that he's just not able to. Vortix is basically eking out a lead after lead after lead, and those spearmen are really difficult to stop right now. We have 28 hardened spears right now, maybe 30 even, on the map, and there is very little to respond for Kelazhur. Kelazhur tries to wall up, but it's very late actually, and those knights are just gonna come in and just gonna massacre the villagers of Kelazhur. There's a little bit of a sandwich actually happening from 2 sides at the same time, but those knights here, they're just gonna be absolutely unstoppable. And yeah, there's not even gonna be an age up here, because yeah, Vortix just presses the issue, actually takes the fight. He's just gonna win the game right here, right now. There is nothing that Kelazhur can do. He is just dead to rights. And Vortix is really leaving his mark on the tournament right now, taking out Kelazhur, such a good player overall. He had a very nice situation this game. He was actually held his own for a very long time, but this was not enough. And in French vs French, Vortix, with his experience, just comes out ahead and takes the series, guys. It's impressive